From First Coast News, this is Good Morning Jacksonville.
I'm Monica Garcia, tracking a developing story from the west side. A 28-year-old man has been arrested and charged with murdering Savannah Gold and dumping her body right here at this pond. His name is Lee Rodarte. He was arrested on Saturday. Police say he confessed to killing Savannah Gold and dumping her body in this pond after they got into a fight in his car. He worked with her at the restaurant, and now he's being held without bond. Well, I talked to her mother yesterday, and she says she knew something wasn't right when her daughter went missing. We're going to hear from her. We'll have the latest in just 10 minutes.
And your second big story on this Monday morning, we officially have our 6th named storm of the 2017 Atlantic hurricane season.
That is Tropical Storm Franklin right there from the Caribbean. Sunday night, it is set to hit Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula and then into mainland Mexico. Not a threat to us here at home, but Mike has been talking about it's vacation land, so still an impact for some.
And let's get to your third big story on this Monday morning. Kids out in Georgia, rise and shine, folks. Children in Charlton, Brantley, and Pierce counties head back for their first day of school today. So commuters, you're going to see some more traffic on the roads this morning. And now with a look at your back to school forecast, we're going to turn things over to our storm expert, meteorologist Mike Franklin.
Yes, welcome back. We'll get to that forecast. So let's take a look at the tropics again. We've got Tropical Storm Franklin, so the Yucatan could have an impact with some wind gusts, maybe near hurricane force Tuesday, and then off to Mexico just south of Texas as we head into late weekend. It still may ramp up to hurricane status. Now for travelers today coming out of Jacksonville, it's quiet here, but across the country, a lot of stormy weather from the Midwest off to the east. Charlotte, Baltimore, New York City, check those travel plans as well. But here at home again, much quieter, looking for a gorgeous sunrise. I can't wait to share with you your Monday motivation in 18 minutes. Now we do have a front on the map, but notice it's angled a little farther north. So for the back to school counties, okay, that includes Charlton County. Notice Folkestone, I've got those pop-up storms by 5 o'clock. And our school of the day, Folkestone Elementary. So we got the pencils, notebooks, pads, and lots of water for the kids too with that high of 94. And I do think the rain should hold off until after school between 5 and 7 o'clock. Plenty of impacts, mainly north of I-10 today. Does include some wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. We'll track those together and bring the sizzle coming right up.
And we're in the VyStar Credit Union Traffic Center getting you guys moving this morning. Starting with a live look here towards the Fuller Warren Bridge. That is the southbound side. This is the northbound side. And on the southbound side, I was watching some emergency vehicles kind of in the left southbound shoulder. Looks like they have since cleared out, and I'm not seeing any delays or any lanes blocked. But let's take a look at your traffic maps. You can see a little bit of a slowdown here as you are traveling on the Matthews Bridge, making your way towards the downtown area, but likely some congestion picking up. Looks like the Hart Bridge, though, the Main, the Acosta, and again the Fuller Warren, though traffic is picking up, looks like they're moving pretty well. Over here towards the Baldwin area, you've got a spot of fog developing along 301 just south of I-10, so do look out for that. Nassau County got an accident in County Road 108 and Smith Road. At least one lane there is blocked. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Katie. Well, 3 teenagers are dead this morning after police say they crashed a stolen car in the Tampa area this weekend. Deputies in Pinellas County say that the teens started running from police Sunday morning and were going more than 100 miles an hour when they hit another car and ended up hitting a pole before the car caught on fire. Now, police say they've been seeing chases like this more frequently.
This is unfortunately, a continuation of the prolific and epidemic incidents of juveniles engaging in the deadly game of auto burglaries and auto thefts.
A 4th teen who was in the car was taken to the hospital and 2 others were arrested. There's no word yet on what charges that they could face. Well, a new study shows that teens are taking more risks behind the wheel as they enter their senior year of high school. The study by Liberty Mutual Insurance and says that Students Against Destructive Decisions, it says that when compared to sophomores and juniors, seniors are more likely to text when they drive or drive drowsy. But the study also shows that there are steps parents can take to keep their kids safe. Here's a quick look. Experts say parents should keep taking their kids out for safe driving checks and educate them just like they did before they actually got their driver's licenses, and reward safe driving to reinforce reinforce good habits. And of course, set a good example yourself by putting down your phone and giving the road your full attention when you drive. Lead by example, we say it all the time.
Well, giving every child a chance to succeed in Clay County, teachers are now working on a new way to provide 40,000 books to low-income students, and that's all for free, according to our partners over at the Florida Times Union. It's part of a nationwide initiative. It's called First Book. It would provide new books to families in the district, and Clay County Superintendent now, Addison Davis, has said he supports the measure. Well, of course, a committee to project volunteers will meet this week to fine-tune all the plans and get those 40,000 books. Sticking with the school theme, because this is a common struggle for parents. You got kids in elementary, middle, high school, you got to pack their lunch. It can get dull at times. You get the same old thing, and by the middle of the school year, you're kind of like pulling your hair out, up late at night or up early in the morning, trying to figure out something. Well, we talked to a nutritionist to mix things up just a little bit, find healthy options, but some new options as well, some ideas for you as you get ready to head out the door for school. Here's First Coast News' Monica Garcia.
Parents out there know two things to be true. Time is a precious thing, and there's never enough of it. So with back to school just days away, sometimes making your child a nutritious lunch is put on the back burner, literally. While you opt for the bright-colored, convenient packages that seem to have taken over the cold cuts aisle at the grocery store.
You can't just let food happen to you.
Jenna Braddock is a dietitian and mother of two growing boys.
I already have started buying some snacks and just sort of mentally beginning to prepare.
6-year-old Jackson and the baby of the family, 4-year-old Benjamin.
When we go to school, there's gonna be lots of older kids, probably exposure to a lot of foods that maybe he didn't even know existed.
Her strategy, plan ahead. Grocery shop twice a week, Sunday and Wednesday.
Washed and dried my grapes, so these are ready to go.
She recommends a bento-style box like this one.
I bought, my crackers,
sectioned off in compartments.
pre-sliced cheese,
And then you get to create your own variation of fun-sized combos.
one little piece of broccoli. Try it. We have a you have to try it rule.
She says ranch or avocado dipping sauces help. What about making your lunch meat go farther?
If you buy smaller bread, you don't need as much guts to fill that sandwich.
And don't be duped by fake fruit.
And it really doesn't provide that much nutritional value.
Keep an eye out for added sugar. By next year, all packaged foods will have it listed on the label as required by the FDA.
It'll be right underneath the sugar.
And you don't have to be an expert like Jenna.
But without some mental preparation and some planning, whatever's available is what you're going to eat.
You just need the right utensils. Monica Garcia, First Coast News.
Well, starting today, one local college campus is clearing the air. You see, there's a new smoke-free rule. It takes effect at Jacksonville University, prohibiting the use of lighted tobacco products on all property owned, leased, or occupied by the university. It applies to all campus community members and visitors as well.
If you feel a little lucky, then this week might be big for you. Both major lotteries skyrocketing to above $300 million. We'll have the details just ahead for you, but first, a live look outside. That's a lovely start to the day, a more summer-like day. This First Coast News storm expert Mike Prangley joins us in just 2 minutes with a look at your forecast. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. This is what it's all about.
It's gorgeous.
Monday motivation, we just look up. Keep that head up. All right, we've got beautiful sunrises, sunsets, and a full moon alert.
I loved it. This morning, it was so bright outside from that full moon.
It was even brighter tonight with that
right.
full moon. Now let's check it out. Okay, let's come to the board here and our big wall. It's the kind of weather that makes you want to run in the sprinkler here like Riley. I mean, we're talking about 6 hours of feeling like triple-digit heat, so more heat than storms today. We're in the danger zone. Make sure you have an air-conditioned spot. A fan won't do good enough. And here's some of that fishing weather. This would be a good, cool spot. Captain Alvarez's big boat. Take it out. The red snapper are biting. And we're talking about a 22-pounder there. Good job, Curtis. As we take a look at that fishing forecast, water temperature 82, so I guess the red snapper really liking that. Southeast winds 10 to 15, seas only about 2 feet with a 10% chance of rain. So lower chances of rain south, but north of I-10 in southeast Georgia, that will be the storm zone. We'll track those coming up.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Let's take a live look outside right here. This is 295 near Old St. Augustine Road. It's picking up, but you're not seeing that heavy congestion at this point. So that is great to see. At least traffic there is moving and you're not seeing a sea of, tail lights out there. Let's take a look. If you are traveling across the Main Street Bridge overnight this week, we're going to see those same lane closures that we saw last week and the week before. So overnight Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you could see those lane closures there along the Main Street Bridge. I-10 still moving up to speed. That congestion, though, will start kicking in pretty soon, and that 5 minutes will start escalating pretty quickly. If you're traveling over on 95 from St. John's towards downtown, it's moving up to speed as well. Back to you, Lou.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Mike. Still ahead, a former congresswoman continues her fight against federal fraud convictions at 6:47, just 5 minutes away. What is next for Corinne Brown as she does go back to court today?
Plus, this is what was left behind after an EF2 tornado tears through the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm Lindsay Boach, and I'll have that story when your power block of nonstop news begins in 2 minutes.
It's time now for your power block of nonstop news before the Today Show and Good Morning America take over at 7 o'clock. The United States gives North Korea a new bit of advice as the country's hit with new UN sanctions.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says the North needs to stop its missile launches so diplomatic talks can begin. Tillerson attending a summit of leaders this week, but it's unclear if he'll meet with North Korea's foreign minister. Much more coming up on the Today Show and Good Morning America. That's at 7. And here in Jacksonville, a former congresswoman is going back to court.
Got a hearing set for today as Corinne Brown pushes for an acquittal or a retrial, one or the other, in her federal corruption case. She was convicted on 18 of 22 counts back in May. Alex Osiris could have more on what's happening today in the hearing in a live report in 2 minutes. But first, a 28-year-old man faces a murder charge now after police say he killed his 21-year-old co-worker.
Yeah, according to police, Lee Rodarte confessed to killing Savannah Gold, but Gold's parents say that's nowhere near enough to earn their forgiveness.
I wasn't able to be with my baby when she left this earth. I don't care anything about him. All I care about is her.
This is just heartbreaking. We want to get right out to Monica Garcia. She is live on the city's west side this morning with the very latest in this case. Monica.
Well, Keitha, it's a tragic ending, and of course, a family left just devastated. I'm here on the west side, standing in front of the pond where police say that suspect, Lee Rodarte, led them here Saturday night. Now, it's not the tragic way she left the world that her family wants people to remember her by. They say she had an infectious smile, a bubbly personality, and loved playing lacrosse. Of course, throughout the weekend, people have come out here, friends and family left behind this makeshift memorial with stuffed animals and that angel statue. Now, this location is just 8 miles away from the Mandarin restaurant Bonefish Grill, where she and that suspect Lee Rodarte worked together. Online records from a 2006 traffic stop show that Rodarte used to live in a subdivision near this location. This is exclusive video showing Rodarte in police custody Saturday night. Yesterday, he appeared before a judge for the first time and was charged with murder and tampering with evidence. Police say he later confessed to killing 21-year-old Savannah Gold and dumping her body at this pond off of Club Duclair Drive.
I was never one to believe in capital punishment. So I'm a little bit more of the mindset that I just want him to suffer forever. I don't want him to die. I want him to just suffer eternally. And it's still not enough.
Just so hard to hear. Well, police say after Rodarte killed Savannah, he tried to cover his tracks by slashing her tire, even sending text messages to her family. In the meantime, you just saw Sherry Gold. She says her and her husband Dan are focusing on getting justice for their daughter. From the west side, of Monica Garcia, First Coast News.
Thanks, Monica. And I'm Alex Osiris, live downtown at the federal courthouse where Corinne Brown will be back in court later on today. Now, she's hoping to overturn that 18-count conviction that she faced back in May. Her attorneys making a case that an argument centering on a jury being removed is what they hope to present today. Now, you'll remember we had gavel-to-gavel coverage back in May when Corrine Brown would walk up these steps into federal court, and she was convicted on 18 counts of fraud and tax charges. She faces federal prison time. All of this coming just days after she canceled an event hoping to raise money for her defense. She said that weather was one of the factors, as well as ticket sales, citing that she needed to sell more tickets to raise money for nearly $1 million for her defense. She says already she spent more than $500,000 for it. Here's Brown on her legal fight.
I'm just waiting for Monday. Nothing. I mean, it's just going to court.
Now, Brown is going to be back in court today at 3 o'clock. We'll have a team of reporters inside bringing you the latest details. Reporting live downtown, Alex Ositis, First Coast News.
The city of Chicago will file a lawsuit today against the U.S. Justice Department over its new plan to withhold grant money from so-called sanctuary cities for immigrants. I'm Lindsay Boach, and that's topping our national headlines at 6:49. The DOJ says it will no longer award coveted grant money to cities unless they give federal immigration authorities access to jails and provide advance notice when someone in the country illegally is about to be released from jail. Now, Mayor Rahm Emanuel says that policy forces Chicago to choose between its commitment to being a sanctuary city and its need for certain federal grants. Well, an explosion rocked the office of the imam of the Dar al-Farouk Islamic Center in Bloomington, Minnesota. That's near Minneapolis. The imam was not inside at the office at the time, but commonly is. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but as you can see, the damage there is fairly extensive. A rare late summer tornado smashed into a shopping district of Tulsa early Sunday, just hours after it was packed with people. There were no deaths reported from the EF2 tornado that struck shortly after 1 a.m., but more than 24 people are hurt. 2 of them have life-threatening injuries. Many of those people were restaurant workers who were closing down their restaurants. All right, there are many words that I could use to describe this story. None of them are FCC approved. Remind me to not go to San Diego. They're having an increase in tarantula sightings. One woman found one in her microwave. A man found one inside his shoe. The rise may be an effect of the weather. Maybe they're just out looking for some love. Tarantulas are in the midst of mating season. We all know what happens. Soon there will be more tarantulas crawling around.
In his shoe?
The chills. What would you even do if you put your foot in a shoe?
I'll pass.
She'd get a blowtorch.
Oh, torch the whole thing, the whole house.
Whatever
gone.
it's in, destroy it.
Yep. And then you mentioned it's mating season, so they're going to see even more of them. Oh boy, here we go.
Life finds a way. Let's take a live look outside this morning, and it is
gorgeous.
Stunning.
There it is.
You know what? I want to stay with I guess we have to look at Mike Prangley, don't we? I love Mike, but this is pretty.
Monday motivation. We've been talking about this well before the sunrise. There it is. Keep your head up today. We got beautiful sunrises, sunsets. We've got a full moon tonight and no tarantulas. That story was in San Diego. I paid attention, Laura. There we go. Now today, Family Beach Walk Day. If some kids are still out of school, all of our Florida kids, in fact, Washington Oaks Garden State Park, a place to go to stay cool on this hot summer day. 85 degrees, it starts at 10 a.m. Learn about shells and turtles and maybe hunt for some shark's teeth out there and keep these beautiful pictures coming. One of my best ones in the morning, Teresa Lewis, showing that beautiful, that's moonlight here. It was just very bright, and it's only going to be brighter tonight with that full moon, and I think we'll get a good view of it because I think the storms today would last less than an hour or two, mainly in Georgia between 4 and 7. That includes Waycross and Folkestone. Notice some heavy rain, impacts of maybe an isolated strong storm of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. Now, as you get farther south, including Duval, Clay, Putnam, St. John's, we're talking just an isolated storms, more heat than storms, less than 1 hour, and it does look like more of a miss, okay? So notice the lower rain chances here, including St. Augustine at 20%, and then the 60% zone from Brunswick over to Waycross, including Folkestone for Folkestone Elementary. Weather impacts today could be some flooding in some poor drainage areas, lightning and 50 mile per hour wind. Got 7-day forecast. Here we go. Tonight looking good for the jumbo shrimp and more good beach weather for you this week, especially Thursday and Friday, but we will ramp up the storms Tuesday and Wednesday. Now let's get to Katie Jeffries. How's it looking, Katie?
Not too bad, but let's get right to it. So this is a look towards I-10. not too far from Cassett, and you can see the eastbound traffic slowing down, but it's all from congestion. No reported accidents on I-10. Take a look towards your traffic maps. Definitely picking up on the Matthews Bridge, headed towards the downtown area. Pretty slow there across the bridge, so maybe give yourself an extra 10 minutes just to make sure that you're not late to work if you use the Matthews Bridge. But the other bridges, not seeing any delays or problems. Traveling across the Buckman Bridge so far looks pretty good. Also 17 in Blanding. No reported slowdowns there, other than, of course, the traffic lights if you hit those lights red. If you're traveling in Nassau County, County Road 108 and Smith Road, I was watching slowdowns on the southbound side because of a crash. It looks like that those slowdowns have cleared themselves up, but you still might see a lane blocked there. Don't forget, if you're in Georgia, several counties are going back to school today, so you could see increased traffic there on the roads. Back to you.
6:54 is your time, and right now GSO is investigating after shootings during 2 separate robberies Sunday. This all happened on University Boulevard North near the Fort Caroline area. See it there on your map.
The first victim said he was approached by 2 men outside the Primetime Food Mart around 9 last night, and he was shot and then robbed. The second person said the men approached him in a neighborhood nearby, but he shot one of the robbers. Now, both people who were shot are expected to be all right. And later today, a man who was sentenced to life in prison as a teenager will get a new sentence. Joshua Phillips, he was just 14 years old when he was convicted in the death of 8-year-old Maddie Clifton, his neighbor, back in 1999. Well, since then, the Supreme Court has said a mandatory sentence of life in prison without parole for a juvenile is unconstitutional. So the court will begin discussing Phillips' new sentence today. And a search for 3 missing U.S. Marines off the coast of Australia is called off, and now the Navy is considering this a recovery mission. A Marine Osprey tilt-rotor plane crashed while it was trying to land on the USS Green Bay on Saturday. Well, 26 Marines were on board and 23 of them were rescued. No word yet on why the plane crashed. And 2 more homes fall victim to a massive sinkhole in Florida. Take a look at these images. My gosh.
It's hard to think about that actually happening to you. You know, a hole opened up under a neighborhood in Pasco County. It's happened in July, and now a total of 4 homes have been condemned. The hole is full of debris now. Crews hope to float a barge. That's right, they're bringing in a barge to put into the sinkhole in the water there to start cleaning it out. Well, no big winners means you have another chance to take home a massive jackpot this week.
Well, the Mega Millions lottery jackpot is up to $346 million now, while Powerball is up to $307 million. Remember, you can watch the drawings for both lotteries during First Coast News at 11. That's Tuesday and Wednesday night.
Starting today, JTA has new steps and a new route to accommodate Amazon's business boom. JTA launching its new bus route, and it's just for Amazon employees, but there's going to be a lot of them. It'll be a full bus. The route's going to go from a park and ride lot on Armsdale Road all the way up to its new fulfillment center, front door service, and that opens August 20th. All right, less than a minute to go before today's show. Good Morning America take over. So, Mike?
It's going to be a great week. We already saw that beautiful sunrise, plenty of Monday motivation, a full moonlight tonight. Now, notice the rain chances on the lower side for Duval, St. John's, Clay Putnam, 30%. But for the kids going back to school in southeast Georgia, maybe some after-school thunderstorms late today. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll have highs in the low 90s.
A look towards the Buckman Bridge and the gorgeous sunrise. It's hard to see the traffic on the bridge, but hey, it's moving along pretty well. So far, no major crashes on your interstates. But don't forget, Brantley, Pierce, Charlton going back to school today. So increased traffic in your neck of the woods.
We have those new school lunch ideas. You know what I mean? Go check them out on the website. Might spice things up for your student. Have a great day, everybody.